since right now. We got our official cred. It's official.
So what you guys are going to see are the memorable hands that I played, playing cash tables and a few tournament hands. And I've done something different with the presentation of how I represent the hands. So this is the first hand I want to discuss, and just to give you a layout of the table. It's a full ring, 9 people playing 1-2. And this representation is a little off. I'll just tell you, I had King 9 suited and I was in the cutoff. That is the difference. That's about it. The guy to my left is still there, Mr. Tight. And that's how it went down. We had a couple of limps and then we tried to get the pot. Sorry guys, this first hand is not fully representing of the picture you see. But I was just trying to go for a blind steal, and that was the good amount. Anything less would have been called 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till 10. But we get the 2 callers, and lucky hand for us. Now obviously in this spot I check through to get most value. Hopefully somebody tries to bluff in. Now as the ace appears, generally I know people, one of these 2 guys would have called with an ace for sure, so it was a really good card for me actually. And one of them folds, the other one just has 40 behind, and he's a tight player, old guy, as you can see, 6 years old. And yeah, luckily he has ace jack and we win with quads on the flop. The title of this hand, if anything, would be damage control. And this hand is quite a doozy, so just watch through this. It's really interesting. We are dealt 7-10 suited of spades. We call a standard 3 X-rays. The flop is pretty favorable for us. It's an open-ender. I don't bet here because the guy on my right has a tendency to slow play hands. He's a tricky guy. So I decided to bet well. Now, here's the thing. He leads into me. He puts in 10 and I re-raise to 30. And the surprising thing, which gets my attention, because unless I pretty much have the nuts here, almost I have the nuts. The only thing that probably beats me is 7. Not much beats me, but he calls me, and I probably put him on a flush draw or something stronger. Here's the thing now. Recently, when the board pairs up, I get doubtful about how someone's playing, and this guy has a tendency to slow play, and he had called my re-raise on the turn, so I just decided to check it through, and what do you know, he had a 6-9, a full house. Wow. So yeah, damage control worked for us. So this is another hand I'd like to share with you guys. We were in the button position, and the guy on my right makes a rather minimum raise of $5, and we have 7 people playing in this hand. The flop is pretty good for us. We have the top pair and a pretty decent kicker. Now he bets $20 into a $35 pot, which kind of tells us he wants to secure the pot now. Maybe he sees some sort of connectiveness to the board. So we just flat call here, and the table folds to us. Now on the turn we get a gut shot in terms of having a straight, but what I do sense is that this guy is really strong, and I make an instinct call, and I fold my cards face up, and he shows us pocket aces. Yep. So yeah, good laydown. Hey guys, we're at the Crown Casino, day 3. Let's hit the cash tables, probably sit around and review some hands as well, because we have a media. Now this hand is another doozy from the 19th of January at the Crown Casino. I have a guy who plays pretty loose, and yeah, so we have a pretty decent hand. We raised to 12, and we have the top pair. We check through to get the most value, and as you know it, right, this guy bets 30. We call him all in, and 2-6. Yeah, he called my 6x raise with 2-6 and got rewarded. What can I say? Fishy play. So this was possibly my favorite hand of the entire trip. We are in the button position with with a nice hand, and ace queen suited, and here we go. We raise it up to 10, and we get re-raise. Now, really interesting spot. We get a limper who re-raises us, so very exciting. And obviously I'm not folding this, I had to see this through. Okay, there we go. Ace queen with king queen, king jack 9, and we have a gut shot. Now we checked through. Now this was a big mistake for a fella right over here. He gave me some breathing space. If he would have put pressure, maybe I would have folded, I don't know, maybe not. But now I had the nut straight, and clearly he jams, calls us all in. He had 2 pair and we had a straight. So, you know, he had a 2 pair on the flop. He tried to slow play it, so as to say, and wanted to make more money. But he forgot that it's a very draw heavy board with those kind of cards on the different streets. And yeah, we made money. Awesome.
It's a beautiful day in Sydney, and how can we go without, you know, matha takeaway at the Star Casino, the casino in this city. So we're just waiting for our turn at the 2-3 at the Star Casino. I'm gonna play pretty tight, 10% break. Yeah.
So like I was saying, I'm gonna play tight, and boy did I play tight. You know, I just have 2 hands of consequence to share with you. I was down to $80 from say 150 that I started with. And here we go. We were in the button, and we have king 8 suited. And what you have to know about this table really is the standard raise was much higher. It wasn't like a 3x or something. It was much higher, at least a 4, 5, or even a 6. So, you know, when people limp around to me, and because there were 3 limpers before me, I raised it up to 20. Makes sense. And in this table, the small blind, which was an amateurish Asian guy who was constantly paying back at me, which eventually will be pretty good for us. As you can see, we flopped king high pair, king high flush. We obviously bet and get called. Lucky us. This card is not of much consequence to us. We bet further, and this guy calls. Wow, this guy is like a dream caller for me. And he just had mid pair and he just kept on going. I mean, I don't know what he saw there, but we got, yeah, good for us. So the second hand is also about the same guy, fortunately. This time we are in the small blind position. He's in the big blind position with ace 10 offsuit. Again, in this position, we get a couple of limpers, and obviously we can't have limpers without punishing them. Punish them indeed, and we get just the one caller, the same guy who likes to play back against me. Dream flop for us, 2 pairs. I obviously check through to get the most value as I can, and guess what this guy did? He jams. He jams $80 into the pot where I have 2 pair, and I put him on, I don't know, ace king or something, or maximum of flush draw, and I actually tell him, you know what, I have to call this. I can't go to sleep if I don't call this. And guess what, man? It's surprising what he called with. He had an ace 4, for God's sake. I mean, bad kicker and everything. Yeah, I mean, give me your money. So guys, let me know what you thought about the way the hands were presented. I thought it was much more better if I was more visual, apart from being vocal when I represent the hands, so you all know what position the player was and how it was being played, and it conveys much more information than just orally talking about a hand. Well, until the next time guys, see you.